Growing up, it was a special thing that at Thomasville High and in that community that was going on. And your role models were your coaches, obviously my dad, but also the other coaches on the staff. My biggest goal was to play for Thomasville High.
Coaching was special, being able to work with kids, but coaching my son was very special.
It was tough too. Okay, it's tough when your dad's the coach. I wouldn't be sitting where I am today, wouldn't have been able to play college football and kind of be the man I am today.
He never got by with anything, but a lot of them didn't get by with anything. But being there at Thomasville was a special place because it was one of the top jobs in the state of Georgia. Everybody in the community cared about one thing. They still do, and that's football. Friday nights was the greatest thing there was.
Being able to run out and play for your school was something that I, as a little kid, that's what I dreamed of. It wasn't playing for the University of Georgia, it was growing up and playing for Thomasville High School.
It was hard when he left, because you'd spent all your life watching him grow up to be able to play football. And then when he graduates, then it's a different thing. It's a different part of his life. I'm still staying where I was.
To get where I got in my career, a lot of it was, my dad, but it was also a lot of the people there in Thomasville. And I was very fortunate to be able to go to the University of Georgia and play.
Bobo drops back, they're coming on him, and he throws. Juan Daniels caught the ball, touchdown! As Bobo sneaks in there, touchdown! Bobo going to take it and look and throw it in the corner, and a touchdown! Oh my God, a touchdown in the corner!
And then an opportunity arose, to be a graduate assistant there. I took that opportunity. Never in a million years did I think I was, going to coach college football or coach in the SEC or be a coordinator.
Here we go, L over, Polo 47.
Constantly throughout my coaching career, whether I was a position coach or a coordinator, guys that I know in the profession are like, when are you going to go get that job? When are you going to be the coordinator? When are you going to go get the job to be the head coach? And I really wasn't looking, for another job. I remember the first meeting I had when I was 25 years old. Mark Rick said, if you want a new job, apply excellence to the one you have. And I've kind of always had that mindset. I worked for a good man. I lived in a good place. We had a chance, to win. And when this job came open, usually a lot of times you get calls, and sometimes I say, yeah, I'm not really interested. I happened to get that call, and I said, you know what? Let me talk to my wife about it. Now I knew Colorado State, watching them on Thursday night, watching Anthony Hill play, watching Moses Marino was about during my time, watching those guys play when I was sitting in the hotel or sitting in the dorm room on Thursday and Friday night. But I didn't really know where it was in Colorado. If I was going to be in college, I wanted to be something similar to the field that I had in high school, where everybody bought into what you were trying to do there. And it was not just Colorado State, it was the whole Fort Collins and everybody's football team and athletic department and university.
When he said they were leaving, and I looked on the map and it was 24 hours away, that was going to hurt Grandpa and Grandma, but
he's a lot nicer to my grandkids or to my kids than he was to me. They love GP. They love Grandpa. Got out here and met the people and fell in love with the place, and couldn't be happier with the decision that I've made and my family's made to move out here. We love it. I love coming to work every day. Hadn't been a day in over 4 years where I've said, what did I do? Why did I move to Colorado? It's where I'm supposed to be. I firmly believe that.
Well, CSU football coach Mike Bobo has stepped aside from the football program. He's currently undergoing medical evaluation after recently experiencing numbness in his feet. Bobo was admitted to a hospital after the team scrimmage on Saturday. There is no timetable for his return.
We were at the Mountain West meetings, and which are in Las Vegas, and I had gotten up early in the morning, and I usually walk the whole strip down to the Las Vegas sign and turn around and come back. And I'd been starting to do more of that. I'd had my knee replaced in April, so I was trying to rehab and get ready, and I was starting to feel good. I was walking at a good pace. And then later that night, I was starting to get some pains in my right leg. And I thought it was a result of I overdid it. I walked, close to 5 miles that day. I said I probably overdid it with my knee. Came back 2 days later, had more pain, shoot down my calf and my foot. And I'm like, something's not right. I thought it was obviously something with my knee. That went on for another week, went to the left leg, then went to the right arm. And as camp was going on, I knew something wasn't right. And I began to start to, kind of tell some of the offensive coaches, hey, you got to take care of this. You got to get ready to call this. And it was that second scrimmage that I was like, we got to go do something and go to the hospital. And it was a tough deal, leaving your family, your football family.
Colorado State head coach Mike Bobo continues to seek medical treatment in a Denver hospital for peripheral neuropathy.
Struggling a little bit because I'm not there with you guys, and that's why I do this. I love to compete, I love to win, but I love helping young men grow. I get a little emotional sometimes talking about you guys. I get emotional when I talk about my family and when I talk about my football team and staff. I love you. Keep working hard, and I'll be back shortly.
The thing that bothered me the most was not that, everybody's like, you got to take care of yourself, but the thing that bothered me was, I've got a bunch of coaches and their families counting on me, and I'm not there, and I felt like I was letting them down. And it took me a while to kind of get over that and realize, I got to focus on getting myself healthy. That's taking care of them.
It was hard to watch your son who he had a hard time dealing with all the stuff that was going on, when he'd have to be in a meeting and couldn't concentrate and have to just go in there and lay down and put his feet up in a chair because the pain was so unbearable for him.
He was always Mr. Negative growing up. Now he was Peter Positive this whole time, like it's gonna come back. It's like it ain't coming back. I can't, I was down. And it was good to have him there with me for those 6 weeks.
When you're denied things, like his ability to coach, his ability to really get around, you have to adjust. I've always said this, you endeavor to persevere, and he learned to persevere. He learned through it all this stuff, this journey that he's been through. It really developed him more as a man. I'm really proud of the way he did his family and the way he handled his football players and everything else. But watching him in his relationship with the Lord even grew closer and closer. And it helped not only him, it helped our whole family grow closer to the Lord.
Through that time, I got closer, like Dad said, with the Lord, and read a lot of James. And in James it says, through trials and tribulations becomes more opportunity. And it's an opportunity for me to show how to fight through. Adversity. We're always talking to our players about being able to handle adversity. Well, here's some real, adversity. Even if I, couldn't walk the way that I wanted to walk or coach the way that I wanted to coach, I wanted to constantly fight and show toughness.
You either fight or you fold up. Well, he doesn't fold up. He finds a way and continues. He endeavors to persevere. That's a great characteristic that he's had all the way through his lifetime.
Mike Bobo, who spent 10 days in the hospital, returned to the team on Tuesday, coaching from the press box, hoping for a major comeback for Colorado State.
It was tough sitting in there in the first game against Hawaii at home, our opener. I was a day out, 2 days out of the hospital. And it wasn't a good feeling. I wasn't in a good place. It wasn't a good feeling watching us perform. And then I just felt like I needed to be down there and show fight and show grit, no matter how painful it was, for me personally.
This is incredibly important for Colorado State. Mike Bobo is on the sideline, 10 days in the hospital, and this is without a cane, this is without a boot, and this is a wonderful sign for Mike Bobo, Colorado State, and everyone around college football.
It was painful enough going through the game and watching the way we played, but just to show that fight and realize, hey, I'm not where I want to be. We're not where we want to be as a football team. We got to continue to fight.
Long drop, end zone, it is bobbled, and it is caught! Touchdown, Preston Williams! Curtis Samuels is going to hand off into the end zone. Stood up, touchdown! The Colorado State Rams charge back with 25 straight to a
kind of goes back to, it was a proud moment for us to find a way to win that Arkansas game. Things weren't going well that week or that game, but our kids fought, they fought through. And it goes back to you want to share moments with people that you love, and that's our football team. And then I turn around and I see my dad and everybody's coming up to it. I just want to make sure to tell him thank you, for what he's done, not really that week, but my whole life. And I know we don't say it a lot, sometimes as men, that we love each other.
Well, it's on my phone. That picture is. I look at it every day. That's a very special time of the culmination of the fighting to get to that point. The things that are happening within our family that are changing in our attitudes and in our beliefs and strengthening them was really kind of a culmination of that. And after the ball game, I remember he made the statement. He said, I got humbled by the Lord. And from then on, it was kind of a thing of, and as a parent, as a Christian parent, what you pray for your children every day. And now I don't have any doubt the Lord's in control of this whole thing. I call that God winked at you. You're doing the right thing and He winks at you, and that happens. And it didn't all work out perfect the rest of the year, but that's just part of what we go through. But we're headed in the right direction. I don't have any doubt about that. And it's the results will be shown this year. I'm seeing it like I watch practice every day, and I can see the effort by the kids. I see effort by coaches. Everybody's hustling. Everybody's just flying around. But that's the great thing of going through adversity.
I told you one play. One play, we're going to be out of here.
I think football is the greatest game in the world because it's not about you. It's like life. Life's not about you. You got to sacrifice for others. You're put on this earth to serve, and it builds relationships, because when somebody truly gives of themselves to somebody else for the greater good of something else, it brings you closer. And that happens with football teams all the time. It happens with coaching staffs. And that's why I wanted to coach, because I saw that bond growing up with my dad's football teams. I saw that bond with my dad and other coaches. And now for us to have that bond as father-son, because he's an honorary member of this coaching staff. He's not just my dad. And for us to develop that bond is special. It's just like when I have my son on the sideline, or he goes on a trip with me, for after a game, win or lose, first one I'm going to hug him, because sometimes they take it, they get too excited when we win, and sometimes they get too down when we lose and think, oh, Dad's, and you got to let them know that it's okay. We're going to go back to work tomorrow no matter what, and give them a hug just like you would and that's what I learned from my dad.
It's special to be able to come out here to be a part of this and just sit and watch, and just, as he says, I try to keep my mouth shut, and that's my goal. And just to be here, like he said, to encourage, and just don't get weary of doing good every day, because in the end you'll reap the results. That's kind of my philosophy now in life. Just be a servant, do the best you can.
You got to keep going every single day, and we all need somebody. There's no one person here strong enough to do it by himself. We need each other, and I think that was the message last year, and I think it's carried over to this year. If we continue to do the things that we need to do, the results are going to happen that we want.
Hey, I love you guys, man. I love you.